All right, and everybody, welcome to this episode of Top Rope Talk. I am the sniper, Denzel Snipes, and to the right of me is Sean Rossi, the NFL MLB agent, and below me is the pundit himself, Mr. Jacob Christner. Before we get started, just want Jacob, you can do it better. Go ahead, buddy, take it away.
Sideline Sports, Sydeline now. I am Sideline One. We are Sideline One Sports on TikTok, and I think Sideline Sports also for our TikTok. We have two of them. We are also on Facebook. We are on now Twitter. We are on Twitter. We are on all kinds of different networks, all that kind of thing, and have our own YouTube channel. So feel free to go take a look at any time.
All right, and so with that being said, well, how's everyone doing tonight? Sean, I know I saw you took a trip to Los Angeles to go watch one of your prospects. How did it all fare out?
No, everything was good. Caught Saturday night main event on the phone. Boise got blown out, but was there. As in the business there for one player, so I'm watching about a handful of plays that the game actually plays on.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, and Jake, how about you, man?
No, what he was doing, he was over there and he was watching the other thing, and he was saying, John Cena's my new client.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, it was pretty good. I watched the show, and we're gonna have a lot to be able to talk about. And then I'm doing my usual. I'm also getting over a little bit of a cold too, thankfully.
Yeah, I hear that, man. That's about that time of year, it seems like. Well, let's go ahead and get right to it. And this is our Saturday night main event, December 13th recap. Well, of course, highlighting one match in particular, and that is Gunther, to the shock of maybe half the people out there, but to the shock of everyone in DC, apparently. Gunther defeats John Cena by submission at Saturday night's main event in Cena's final match. So, was Cena giving up the right call? And also, so two questions here. So, was Cena giving up the right call, and also, what was your thoughts on the crowd booing Triple H when he came out there after the match? Sean, take it away.
Yeah, so I think it was the right call. Like we talked about briefly right now, he got in a good amount of offense, but he went out like, the hero people expect him to be, gave it everything he got. And I kind of like the little smile at the end. I'm not sure if that was at his wife in the front row or just through the cameraman. But I kind of like the little smirk that, hey, this is over. Small little tap, and we called it. In terms of the Triple H thing, I don't know if it was the decision of the match or what we've done outside of wrestling, kind of why Hogan was getting booed. And I really wish fans, if that was the reason, that we separate that out of the wrestling part of what's going on.
I think this actually reminds me of whenever fans booed and didn't like Lesnar breaking the streak, when all in all, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the Undertaker's idea for Lesnar to break the streak. He wanted him to do it. He specifically said, I do not want to retire with the streak. That was Undertaker's call, But I'll swing it on down to Jacob and give us your thoughts about this. Was this the right call? And I know you got, I know where you're going with this one. Your thoughts on fans booing Triple H after the match?
They don't know anything. You know where I'm going with that. They absolutely positively do not know anything. And it's the same as football fans, and it's like especially the Eagles fans with all. You're not in the grind. You're not in there whatsoever. You were the same ones that wanted Triple H and wanted Vince out. Now you want Vince back? No, you really don't. You don't want his 9-year-old humor in there. Your main thing is the main number one thing right now is it's Reddit told me to say to hate him. Oh my God! Someone said that Jim Ross said that he didn't like black people, or we've heard the whole things or whatever. So Triple H must be and blah blah blah. And I'm like, people do not touch grass enough.
Yeah,
they don't touch grass enough, and we know what Triple H did with Booker. It's all that stuff. We can ask questions forever. Was that Vince or was that Triple H? Whatever. But the biggest thing about it is the fact. Let me say this right now: the whole thing with the stories are that we have had since Triple H has been there. It's been about 3 years. We've had 2 3-year stories.
Yeah,
2 of them. We had the 3 or 4. Yeah, we had Bloodline and we had Cody.
Yeah.
2-3 year full stories and people throwing a piss fit over it even. And then I guess they got used to Vince's 6-week stories.
Yeah.
But we've been, it's been brilliant. Mind you, the writers in the room aren't doing everything. Those are 2 stories that, I mean, from brilliant minds like Cody and like the Bloodline.
Right.
So there's those, but Triple H allowing the stories to breathe is what makes this brilliant. But then they're throwing a fit because Reddit tells them to, and it's like fans have got to get ignored because people can say, well, if we ignore them, they're not going to come over. Oh, please. When are we ever going to see empty seats at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's like when they said, if you get rid of this guy, we're not going to go to the Bears game. When was the last time Soldier Field had an empty seat?
Right.
And that's my point. They're going to do it. We're going to quit watching until next week.
Yeah.
It's always that way. It's frustration. It's emotional nitwit.
Yeah. It's just like, we're going to ban the NFL because Kaepernick kneeled. Yeah, the NFL ratings continue to go up. Oh, we're going to
and no one banned, and no one did. You know that.
And no one did. Yeah, and then we're going to we're going to boycott Nike because Kaepernick signed that deal. Yeah, Nike stock went up too. So
yeah, no one did. The people that said they were going to do it, they weren't doing it. And I'm saying anybody that says we're going to ban WWE because there was some that say we're going to give WWE because of 47, if you will. So because he was over there for one of the WrestleMania, we're going to boycott that. That didn't happen either.
Yeah.
Then, that didn't happen either. And that's the point of things. It's like people just live off of frustration and stupidity and anger. We got to stop that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I understand. Totally. So with that being said, we'll move on to our portion of the show called Sean's Enter the Vault. All right. And so, Sean, this is your segment, man. Take it away with the first one.
Yeah, so the first one on this day, December 15th, 1997, it really just coincides with the second one. Bret Hart makes a brief appearance on WCW TV as he's announced as the special enforcer for Sting and Hogan. And it was really just a quick appearance. But on that same night, Vince gives his famous promo where he ushers in the Attitude Era and gives the speech and the famous quote where we no longer have clear-cut good guys and bad guys.
Crazy stuff too, because that actually was one of the reasons why Bret had left WWF was because of that change in the culture. That there was no more clear-cut good guys or bad guys or anything like that. But let me go back to this one, and I'll bring it to Jacob here. So the first question for you is, was Bret Hart necessarily an asset for Starrcade?
No. The WCW and Bischoff and them, and Bischoff was just run over by Hogan 6 ways from loose. I mean, that wasn't when you go to WWFE, whatever at the time it was, you're going to Vince. You're going to him, and you're getting a final say, and there's everything like that. Who ran WCW? And it's like and as far as everything, there wasn't going to be an asset because there's no one controlling the asset.
Right.
There's no one controlling the asset to be able to get in the first place. So no, and it's not a thing against Bret. It's just no one controls. You got to have an asset. It's like a coach with a player. You got to have a control asset. It's like we're going to see Shadur Sanders right now. Let's see what he does with a real coach.
True.
There's no controllable asset with that thing right now. I mean, Stefanski's useless.
Yeah. And then with a second one, your thoughts about the ushering in of the Attitude Era and Vince saying, hey, there's no more clear-cut good guys or bad guys. Basically, the fans are going to root for who they want to.
Truthfully, and this is the truth with it, they did it just because the 80s people had the thought mindset of a 4-year-old. But the clear-cut good guy and bad guy as far as offense in the ring ended with San Martino. It ended with, I'm just saying this, Sean, just from this thing from here. It ended with San Martino and Backlund. Because those were guys that did everything by the book and all that stuff, unless someone here comes a babyface good guy, looks like a biker.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a biker, and he uses weapons outside the ring and scratches your eyes, breaks your face, does everything like that. I mean, and does everything in front of the referee and gets away with it.
Yeah.
But it's against really cruel bad guys. They're just really cruel. So they're getting their comeuppance. That's the difference.
Yeah.
But that was the clear. I'm sorry. It was the clear cut thing. The clear cut thing, as far and maybe as far as to the fans, it was still clear cut. As far as offense in the ring, people after Hogan, people just started cheating in the ring. Like, yeah.
Yeah. The crazy part about it is, and you pointed this out, and you're absolutely correct. Is people thought that Hogan somehow got more vicious as far as his tactics and his moveset when he turned Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And it's like, no, he didn't. He has the exact same moves. He cheated when he was the immortal Hulk Hogan. He used the chair outside the ring. He finger poked. He choked. He raked backs. He did all of that. He did all of that. And it's crazy because he would do that because he was going up against guys bigger than him despite being 6'7", 303 pounds.
And the thing about it is, a lot of those heels were either overly obnoxious or overly cruel.
Mm-hmm.
So they were getting. The reason people ignored that part is because they were getting their comeuppance because they did all that.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they were getting it, so people ignored it. But the big thing about it is just the fact you got to remember there's so much heel to him. Like the Orndorff story, when the Orndorff turned on him, that was Hogan's fault. Because Hogan wanted the thing in his way, and it's like, that's just the way it goes. It's like, in the end, the character was a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sean, you remember J.R. Ewing, Dallas?
No.
You ever watch Dallas?
No.
Oh, you remember that? You know what I'm going to talk about for a second there, but it's like, he's the, I'm just saying that from the thing, it was from the thing back in the 80s, who shot JR or whatever. He was basically that, who had just so much charisma. There was so much charisma, and it's fun to look at and fun to listen to, and the music was just awesome.
Yeah.
And people will forget. People will forget the world when it's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they will. They will absolutely. Yep. All right, Sean, and take it away with this next topic on Sean's Enter the Vault.
So on the same date, 2002, at this time they had two separate world titles. The SmackDown versus Raw was a big thing. Triple H defeated Shawn Michaels in a 3 stages of hell match to regain the world titles that Michaels actually beat him for just a couple weeks earlier at Survivor Series. The first and third matches would go to H, street fight and ladder match. The in-between match, which was a steel cage, would go to Michaels. On that same night, Kurt Angle beat The Big Show to retain the WWE title. And those two titles would stay separate until 2013, and we'll touch on that in a second.
Yeah, actually, and I got to point out that, as you mentioned just the month before, Shawn Michaels beat him for the World Heavyweight Championship in the first ever Elimination Chamber. Triple H actually recovered faster than I would believe, because I don't know if you all remember, but that night Rob Van Dam had landed wrong on Triple H's throat, and he suffered a bit of a crushed larynx. He almost died from it. He had a 5-star frog splash from on top of one of the cells. H finished the match and then went to the hospital, and then recovered to be ready for this match. You know, so yeah, just a testament to the will of Triple H there. But your thoughts about this match and pay-per-view, Jacob?
Well, I can say this. Wrestlers, I mean, by itself, one thing to understand is Macho Man Randy Savage had his elbow had bursitis, had bursitis exploded, and he had 104 fever the day before WrestleMania. Ooh. He just taped it up. You'll see it on the match. He taped the thing up and just wrestled in it, and he was still wrestling with a fever. I mean, wrestlers are a different breed of animal. They're as tough as it comes.
Yeah.
And I mean, so there's that, and they had to be tough for one big thing. Someone could take your spot. And even back in 2002, that could be. But here's the thing. You've won a face. Speaking of that, you want to face Shawn Michaels and to go do all that stuff because Shawn will have a great match with a grape.
Yeah.
So he'll just carry anybody else to the to a thing. But I'll tell you this: the 3 stages of the 3 stages of fear match.
3 stages of hell.
The 3 stages of hell match. Let me tell you something. That there was you remember Smoky Mountain Wrestling?
Of course.
They had the 4 stages of forget with the thing. It was with the Rocky Mountain with the Heavenly Bodies and the Rock and Roll Express. 4 stages and that kind of thing. It talks about 4 nights, 4 different places. This, even though they had good promos, this one needed Cornette. You have to listen. Go watch. Let's see. It's I'm trying to think. It's Dutch Mantel interviewing him with everybody in there, and it's the greatest promo you'll ever hear in your life. 4 stages and all that stuff. It's basically on that, and the guy doesn't stop. He doesn't take a breath. He doesn't take a breath, and you'll understand why he should have been there to do this one, to promote it. You'll see why when I say that.
Yeah, indeed. And then, well, last but not least, we'll move on to, 11 years later. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so I thought this was appropriate, especially since Cena's retired here now over the weekend. December 15th, 2013, the first time that the titles have been unified for 11 years. Again, with the draft and the split. It was a TLC match featuring Cena and Orton. Orton would take the win, and it was I believe the first time they actually had the TLC pay-per-view named TLC.
Appropriately named. So this one right here, and this actually, because Orton would go on and hold the championship until WrestleMania when he lost them to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, and he wasn't even involved in the decision. But your thoughts about this title unification and the titles would be it's like they were unified, then they were split, and then they were unified again, and then now they're split again. But Jacob, your thoughts on this?
And how many times have been split and unified? But do you realize that Orton and Cena have wrestled 27 times on PLEs and pay-per-views?
I believe it.
27. To give you a crazy part, through all the years in pay-per-views, all the years, Hogan and Savage have 17.
Wow.
On pay-per-view between WCW and WWE. I mean, they have 17. And Cena and Orton are 27. That tells you everything about how different the deal is, you know? Yeah. And Hogan and Savage went 15 years.
Yep.
They went 15 years together and they only had 17. You get my point, you know?
Right.
But that's the thing. Orton and Cena have always, well, they were with OVW. They just knew each other. They had a chemistry.
They did.
Yeah, they had a chemistry. And Orton's a rare one that has had 2 exceptional rivalries. Triple H and Cena.
Yeah. It's crazy because with the 4 that came out of OVW, it's like, okay, obviously the biggest rivalry was Cena and Orton, right? Yeah. But it's figured Cena and Lesnar only met once. Lesnar and Cena have met several times. Lesnar and Batista have never met.
I think in my head, even though it's the show and it's everything like that, it's the booking, in my head, he kills Batista.
Yeah.
He kills Batista. It's just Batista was the fighter, and it was all that kind of stuff like that, but he didn't have that kind of movement. It's a different level. Lesnar, like I keep saying, everybody wants Lesnar and Gunther. I wanted Lesnar and Breaker. I mean, Breaker is the one that can move like him, and he'd move faster. He'd move more devastating, more chaotic.
Yeah.
And that's what Lesnar's been in his thing. And then you find out that he's not as young as he used to be.
True.
Still devastating to everybody else, but this kid.
Jacob, just since you brought him up, and I know it's been circling since Cena dropped Minnesota on his Tom Rinaldi ESPN interview, what do you think about the possibility that Gunther's retiring Lesnar next year too?
I'd rather Breaker do it, but it could be. But see, because with Gunther, you slow the match down. He's great at it, wonderful at it. Breaker Breaker needs to beat Lesnar at what Lesnar's devastated everybody else with. That speed, that power, that devastation.
Absolutely.
And that is. What'd you say? Go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say, do you feel if Lesnar retires before they get to the Breaker match, it could be a disservice to Breaker's run here?
Yeah, because the Breaker needs to devastate him. I mean, mind you, Lesnar gets in a couple, but it's like he needs to figure out. The way that Cena did the end. He won a couple matches in the last month or so. Got his title, do everything, but he lost a lot of matches.
Yeah,
he lost a lot of matches, and the way they did it is he barely survives AJ.
I felt like at the beginning he got a lot of his old wins back, like the Orton losses, he got that back. The Punk losses, he got that back. But then towards the end, he started putting everybody over.
Well, but I'm just saying that the idea of this story and the idea of real life is, and this is why I got mad at the whole thing with Triple H. Oh, he ruined his. No, he did not. The only ruination to it was the heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Which that got rectified quick. But what I'm saying with something like this is the idea is he said it himself, I have no more left, and he kept showing it. He couldn't get any jump on those shoulder blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get any jump on those shoulder blocks. He was 1 or 2 steps slower. He's 1 or 2 steps slower. It's harder for him to get up. It's like, and he's not doing the same strength moves.
Yeah.
His body is beaten. And I think it is, I told this in a text the other night, he is the Larry Bird's last year of wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
Bird had a 49-14-12 game against against the Blazers, and that absolutely was the AJ Styles match.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a 49-14-12 game. He missed one free throw from 50, 50-point triple-double in his final year with his back gone. And it's like, and that's the big thing, about it. And the guy, that would have been his fifth 50-point game, but he would never have triple-double like that. but that's the thing is, after that, though, Bird had a 16 assist in his final Boston Garden game in the playoffs. He had a 16 assist game. Mm-hmm. But in his final game, Game 7, in his repertoire, he had 12 points and he went down his back. He just finally went out in the third quarter and never played again. And it just had 12 points. And I'm like, that Gunther match was that 12-point game.
No, absolutely.
That's all you got.
Well, we do have to wrap it up here.
Sorry about that.
No, you good. Hey, listen, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Also, follow us on all of our great platforms. And for the Sports Agent and the Pundit, I'm the Sniper. We will see you all next week for Top Rope Talk.